What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again, girl and fat. Anyway, so we back again for the part two of the season 8 reunion for Married to Medicine. Okay. And so it picks up where we left off. Truth be told, all I really wanted to know is this whole situation about Scott and Contessa. I don't give a damn about anything else, okay? Shout out to the ladies first panel. You know, that's Jay Lee's corner, Bondi Blue, Jamie. I can't remember her name. I'm pretty sure it's Jamie. And Nixie Dixon. Okay, they interviewed Dr. Heavenly and they also interviewed Anila. And baby, Anila was revealing some shit, okay, about Toya, and Mama just was just letting it all fly or whatever. So go over there if you want a little bit of tea, you know, shout out to them. But anyway, we get up into the episode and it picks up what we left off in part one when it was revealed that, you know, Contessa had filed for separation. Okay, there's a separation, you know, I guess when you file for separation is trying to see whether or not you want to take the time to either work on is are you better apart, or if you before you fully commit to actually saying I want a divorce, is this really what you want, is your issues really big enough to go to the divorce route. And I seen something in the comments or somewhere else where they said usually they do make you in certain places, they do have you file for separation first before you file for divorce. I don't know. Put that in the comments if you know anything about that. But it was irking me seeing this whole situation, and I actually do feel bad, but I believe that they still together. So at this point, I don't really feel that bad for her no more. Okay, because as she's sitting there talking, Scott made me mad too. And as they're sitting there talking about it, you know, Quiet was basically designated herself the mouthpiece, okay? And, you know, she was like, well, you know, I can speak for her. May I speak for her? And the man was in the back. Eugene was the first one that said, no, you may not speak. Just be quiet or whatever. Ain't nobody trying to hear. I said, oh, the way Eugene said it was like he don't like Quiet at all, baby. I said, oh, what's tea on that? But, you know, Scott didn't want to hear nothing what she had to say. And they was like, just let her speak, let her say whatever she got to say. And even the men, Curtis, and it was like, you can't say nothing, Scott. You don't have the right to say nothing at this moment, okay? Let Contessa say what she has to say, and then you'll get your turn to say something, okay? But basically, you know, Contessa is feeling like she's tried and tried. She's at her wit's end. This is what Quiet is saying. Quiet is speaking for her because obviously Contessa and Quiet have a close enough relationship to the point that she is getting all this information and from Contessa herself. Okay, she's confiding in Quiet with all the stuff that's going on in her relationship and how she's basically fed up, and it's almost as if she's exhausted everything that she knows to do to try to fix this relationship, and he's just not getting it. He's just not understanding and seeing where she's coming from. And then it came up, you know, they Quad was like, why don't you tell them the reason why you went to school? The real reason. And she was like, well, y'all know you can, I mean, if you want to say it, you can say it. And they was like, why is it that you keep on, you know, having us to speak? Why are you not, you acting scared to say your own truth? Okay. And so basically she felt things shifting in her relationship with Scott. And so she used the going to school thing to get you know, like separation. Okay, so I guess it was a trial separation. She went her separate ways and did what she had to do at school. Scott went his way and did what he had to do with the kids and all that stuff. Do I agree with it? No. Because if that's what you wanted to do, that's what you wanted to do. Now we understand exactly why Scott was feeling the way that he was feeling. Okay. But at the same time, I don't think Scott knew that that's what it was, because he got upset in the back, and his whole thing was, how was she telling her stuff that I don't even know about? Because when he finally came out there, that's what he confronted her on. Like, you telling Quiet stuff that I don't even know about, so what is this and all this stuff. And at one point, Scott really wanted to get up and leave. He was getting his stuff up and he was leaving. You can see that he was on the defense, okay? He feels like it was a sneak attack. On the one hand, it wasn't, because y'all knew about this. You don't have an issue with the fact that she told them about the separation. He didn't have an issue with that. I guess it was the part about, you know, the reason why she gone to school and all that stuff or whatever that got to him. And the fact that, you know, she's confiding in Quad and stuff like that. it wasn't really that much of a sneak attack. You knew what was going on and you just don't want to confront the truth. That's what it is, okay? So instead of confronting the truth and getting your truth out there, your side out there, we heard Contessa's side. We have yet to hear your side 100% truth, okay? Your version of the truth. We have yet to hear all of that, you know? And so before we can do that, you want to pick your stuff up and you want to just run away from it. It was Curtis that had to convince him to stay, okay? Yes, we heard her side. Why don't you come out there and defend your side? Because this is your one and only chance to do that in front of the world because people are talking. So therefore, put your shit out there, defend yourself, you know? And so he do come out there and was it me? Well, does he sound it? What? Why was he out of breath? I was like, is he out of breath? What's going on? Is he really that pissed? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I knew about the separation and all that stuff, but you know, I ain't know about this quiet situation and you telling quiet this and all this stuff. So basically, they been filed for separation. The way that he was going off and they going off, it was almost as if they had recently filed for separation. They couldn't even get the dates right as to how long the separation has been in. At first, it was like a month. And then it was like, no, it was 5-6 months. I said, which one is it? God damn. And even the ladies was on the thing just looking like, what the fuck? Okay. But what got me about the ladies, I will say, when they did reveal that she was separated and they was going through what they were going through, I felt in that moment, maybe because all these women have been around each other for a minute and because they are married women and they have been through issues themselves and they do truly care about each other regardless of the facts of, you know, the little tips that they do have a human side that they can show compassion or whatever. All the ladies basically teared up. I ain't never see Dr. Heavily tear up like that, okay? Tears just coming down, Jackie crying, everybody's on that stage just basically crying, and I it did something to me, you know. It did something to me. I didn't cry, but just seeing that moment, it did something to me. But Scott was just all in a defensive mode. He was just so on the defense. And I understand because, you know, basically what they trying to say. And Contessa was like, I'm trying to tell you, you know, this is what I need. And this is what I'm trying to say. But everybody sees what's going on. You act like you don't see it and trying to make it seem like I'm crazy. No, I ain't trying to make it seem like that. But I'm just saying, no, that's what you're trying to do. You gaslight her, okay? And you're trying to make it seem like, you know, and even Contessa said, the reason why she don't say something sometimes is because, you know, all the women, they blame the woman. They blame the woman as if it has to be her fault, as if it's something that she's not doing for the man to do something else. No, a person will fuck up on their own. It don't necessarily have to be anybody else's fault. You have to take accountability, you know. And it just pissed me off because they still together, so I don't even know why I'm getting. He was just his actions scream guilty to me. If I know that I'm trying, I would defend myself. I would put myself out there. I would have no problem speaking up, you know. And him trying to run off set or whatever, I just didn't like that move. And then Quiet was like, why don't you just be honest? No, I think it was Toya. One of them said, have you been faithful? I think it was Toy. Have you been faithful? She was like, yes, because what we trying to see is show you that what I'm hearing is Contessa wants this marriage. She wants to fight for this relationship, but you have to be prepared to be 100% honest. He was like, yeah, I'm prepared to do that. It was like, well, have you been faithful in your relationship? Have you cheated? And he was looking like he was sweating bullets. You know how they be so dramatic before they go to the commercials. I was like, what's the answer, Scott? Girl, I'm pretty sure he probably gonna say no. He been faithful. That's what he gonna say. Scott ass is guilty. No point about it. Toya said, listen, bitch, have you been faithful in your marriage? He said, fuck yes. And I was like, okay. You know, if I've been faithful in my marriage and if I didn't have nothing to have, I would not be acting like I was not faithful in my marriage and I do have something to have. And that is exactly what Scott is acting like, okay? You come running out there because you couldn't even hear what was being said. He came running out there because he thought she said she filed for divorce and not separation. That's why he jumped the gun on that, okay? And so, you know, this whole thing with them, I don't even listen. The back and forth, Jackie sitting there just crying or whatever, and Andy was like, "What's going on with you?" And she was like, "Because she been there. This whole situation is a replay of what happened between her and Curtis. I'm pretty sure Simone is feeling it too because it's what happened between her and Cecil. But more so Jackie because Curtis actually cheated." Okay, but see the difference is I don't even know. Do y'all feel as Curtis would have came clean about his cheating if he had not been caught by the blogs and it had not been made, so public, do y'all feel like he would have came clean about it? I don't know. But what really got me is Scott is really gaslighting her, okay? Like, he is really gaslighting her, trying to make this lady, seem like she don't know what she's talking about. She's talking about the fact that she grew up in a volatile household, and she vowed not to be in a volatile relationship, but she is in a volatile relationship when it comes to that fights. And I understood exactly where she comes from, because I was in a situation where when we get into fights all the time, we literally go below the belt always go below, okay? And I know how my mouth is or whatever, so if I feel like you hurt me, I'm going to make you feel hurt too. Okay, that is just the way that I think. I know it's not a good thing. I told y'all, I can admit I can be toxic at times. Okay, when I feel like I'm hurt, I will go there. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm say hurt, not just a little bit of stuff like, oh, whatever. I'm talking about when I feel like I'm really, really hurt, like you really, really hurt me, bitch, I'm gonna hurt you too. That's my mentality. It's not good. I know that. It's something I'm working on. But Scott don't seem to understand that's what she's talking about. I'm telling you what's going on. I'm telling you what I need. And then, she was like, we've been married. What is the one thing that I said that I want? What is the one thing that I said that I want? He was like, what are you talking about? He was like, she said, we've been married for 16 years. What have I been saying? What have I been saying? And, he was like, consistency, communication. And Toya was like, counseling. And she was like, see, there you go. She knows, and she ain't even in our marriage. And it was like, because you just spoke to her. No. She's been saying this. This being a consistent theme from Contessa this whole season, okay? She wants counseling. You don't want counseling or whatever. They get onto the whole thing talking about do Scott got a girlfriend, okay? The whole thing, with the phone saying Scott's girlfriend and stuff like that, when the baby said Siri said which one, okay? And so at this point he trying to say that no, that ain't what happened. It was just a joke or whatever. Okay, I thought it was funny, but obviously it's not. And then he tried to get on the phone and to ask the phone, call Scott's girlfriend. And when he does, it says, do you mean Tessa? Okay. And it was like, you just changed that. He said, no, it's always been that way. It's always been that way. And then they played the clip. It never did. The little baby, he was like, the baby just got it confused. No, the baby knew exactly what she said. The baby said what it was, okay? She said, the phones asked which one, okay? Not Tessa, baby. And then you just said that it has always been Tessa, okay? You just said that. Then you come back and you say, well, I just put it back on that, because I did have it off for a minute, but I just put it back on that. You fucking lying. And even the men are just sitting there. Kieran was like, it's so much shit going on right about now. I don't even know what the fuck they talking about, okay? And then when he said that shit, they was like, man, you should have left that shit out, okay? Just get him out of there. Because at one point, he tried to leave the stage. He was like, okay, I just let y'all talk. No, you out here now, so it's time for you to get into the hot seat. You put yourself in the hot seat at this point. And I'm just like, Scott, you're full of shit. You are acting like a guilty man. You're sweating fucking bullets. You're out of fucking breath. I just don't know. You just look sickly at this point because you're trying not to put your shit on Front Street, because you cannot see that you are hurting. I do not understand, how can you be so fucking dense? Your wife is sitting there fucking crying and you still can't hear what she's saying? You still can't hear what she's saying? Everybody is getting it, okay? And then Heavenly was like, basically, Scott, what we want to know is the rumors true? Are the rumors true? Okay. He was like, what rumors? He was like, if I can show me whatever room it is, and show me the sheets or whatever, receipts or whatever. Heavenly said, I don't have no receipts or whatever, but there are rooms. There have been rooms, okay? And then he was like, they said something about the DMs. Have you ever spoken to somebody in the DM and all this stuff? This is where he further incriminates himself. I ain't never know what a DM was until you said something about it last year, Andy, at the last reunion. So yeah, maybe I looked at the DM or whatever, and I'm like, whoa, somebody sent me something. So I just be like, whoa, dot, or something like that. And I send that. But it ain't nothing like I'm trying to get to know them and something like that. And I'm just like, no. Oh my God, Scott. You cannot lie for shit. Because my thing is, Why respond to the fucking DMs? If you are a married person or in any type of relationship, why would you respond to a DM of a naked person? Of somebody sending you some boobs, of somebody sending you a body part or whatever, and you are married and you want your relationship? That's some sneaky shit, okay? You should have just deleted it. And I'm pretty sure, unless you are following that person, they cannot send you nothing. It goes automatically into the request folder for you to open. So all you have to do is look at it, and you have to accept that shit to respond. I know all about that. You had to accept it to respond. All right. You could have opened it up, saw what it was, and oh, it's a new picture, whatever. Delete. It has the options to delete, block, accept. That's what you could have did. Okay, you could have clicked hit delete. Bitch, you click accept. Okay, I know these things, bitch. Okay, I said, Scott, you're full of shit at this point, and you're digging your hole deeper. And at this point, Contessa's gonna stay with him. She can be up there crying all this time. They still the fuck together. That's what it all comes down to. And that's why people feel like this shit is fucking fake. Okay? All the emotions feel real, but I can see why people are confused about it. Whether it's real or fake. Because look at y'all. Look at y'all. So the first part of this goddamn reunion, this episode of this goddamn reunion was about Contessa and goddamn Scott. I will say this, regardless of whether or not we feel they lying or they not just they gonna be okay, it's not as bad. It's not necessarily that they're lying, but people feel like it's not as bad as they try to make it seem. I don't want to put that out there on people's relationships because I don't know people. And even Contessa, when they was backstage, she was like, y'all tell me to put stuff on the ground to make it seem like I'm okay when I'm not okay, but then you say I'm complaining and I need to stop complaining and all this stuff. Like, she had a literal breakdown in the back, and I was sitting here watching like, wow, like that was a real ass. I said, if she acting real good. I felt that was truly real, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all have probably went through some of the issues that she is talking about, where you just don't feel heard and you're trying to do exactly what you need to do. You need to know exactly why my spouse don't fuck with me like that, and what is it about me that bothers you. You're not communicating with me, and what's happening. We got kids together, and when she was like, and don't tell me that I need to stop this and I need to stop that, and then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that is exactly what she said about, the ladies will say that, unfortunately, what is it that you've done? Okay, instead of just saying what is it that you both done, because it takes two sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it could just be one person, they just fall out of love, or they're going through their own thing or whatever, and that's what happened. But to have that little breakdown, it was a lot. It was a lot. They was trying to be there for her. It got real at one point, and I do like the fact that all the women put their differences aside for that moment and was there for Contessa. Toya and Contessa, to see them actually be interacting with each other, and she was like, what do I need to do? Because they say I'm too passive. What, am I too aggressive with him or whatever? Because all I keep hearing is that I'm too passive or whatever with him, and then Toya telling her about the fact that, sometimes how she gets with Eugene when she mad. Listen, I throw water on his side of the bed. Hell, my mama was there when I did that, and they were there to comfort her. So I like the direction that Toya and Contessa's relationship is going from when we first saw them get into it, from the very first season that Contessa was on there. They've come a long way, and I hope that they continue that. Scott, uh it was confusing because when they first came in the back, they was laughing with each other. They was like, maybe I jumped the gun and all this stuff or whatever. And the men was trying to explain, like Eugene was trying to explain, when you hear Quiet up there saying that you foul, it's like, did you really foul? Like, we thinking that you didn't and stuff like this. It was confusing what he was trying to say, but it was almost like, did they foul the separation and then take it back, but then he didn't know? See, and that's what everybody's confused about, because they acting like, oh, this already happened and we already took it back and all this stuff. And I'm just like, what is going on? That is what gets everybody confused about Scott and Contessa, whether or not they're playing it on or what. Like, it's not what it seems sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And then, when they was leaving out or whatever, Quiet had to tell Scott, listen, we are here for you. I'm still Team Sky. I'm not trying to comfort you. I'm just, I want to see Team Metcalf work, and that's what they had to tell Eugene too. They not trying to break up the relationship. She wants the relationship. She trying to do everything that she can to avoid the divorce. So I guess that's why they still together. Bitch, I ain't got time to be going through all this shit. 16 years of this shit. 16 years of this shit. You talk about some of this stuff been going on for a long ass time. Girl, sometimes it's time to cut the fucking cord. That's what love will do to you sometimes, okay? Baby, don't I fucking know it. Anyway, a mess. The whole first half was about them. Can we get to something else, please? So we done finally moved on to something else. Okay, we get on to the whole situation between Jackie and Simone, and baby, after they do they package about how they used to be close and now they not close no more, and then they came together against in the season or whatever. Everybody was just wondering how their relationship was. I will say this. I was hurt by the fact, bitch. I was hurt like I knew these motherfuckers for real, okay? I was like, damn, like I ain't never been affected by none of this shit that happened on reality TV. But for some reason, like with Simone and Jackie, because they've been together for 20 plus years, they've been friends, all right? That's a long ass friendship. And then y'all it is like, did y'all let reality TV just fuck y'all shit up? And we seen that happen with a lot of relationships in general, where they get on, things was good or it seemed to be good, and then, they get on reality TV and it just brings out whatever issues that they probably was hiding, or bring up stuff that they didn't have and break them up. And I was like, damn, that's kind of messed up that they kind of, fucked up or whatever. I really like seeing them together and being good girlfriends and stuff like that. And, Jackie was sitting there crying. She said she couldn't even articulate why she was crying. It was just basically a lot of hurt that happened. It was years between them. It's not like one of these makeshift relationships that I just met you when I got on the show. No, we've been knowing each other prior to this, okay? And they said that they're okay. They talk here and there. They still study together and all this stuff or whatever. And they had asked, one of the viewers had put out there, do you feel like you still was in the wrong or whatever for not inviting Jackie to Michael's birthday, which I feel was fucked up and a lot of us felt was messed up. But, she said it was awkward, but I understand. I do. And truth be told, even if it was gonna be a little bit awkward, Jackie could have just sat there. Jackie know how to keep to herself. She know not to start no problems or whatever. So you could have invited her. You know how your friend is. She's not gonna start no issues at a party or whatever. That's not about her. That's not in her character from what we seen. And, she was like, but she just felt some type of way when she saw that Anila was there. Simone said Anila was the only one outside of the friend group that she didn't know in family that was there. And that was only because of Toya, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that, she's new on the show, that the producers made her take her. That's it, And so, they started talking about Heavenly getting her opinion about where they see the friendship at, and was seeing her trying to champion them to get back together and become cool, and where she see them standing. And at this point, Heavenly was real with it, okay? Heavenly and Quiet actually were the realest with this, because they kept the trail. They said, listen, bitch, at the end of the day, they lying. They lying. They are not as cool as they say they are. The relationship is not close like they are. They talk to us or whatever, and it ain't what it is. Quiet had already spoke about it on Watch What Happened Live. She said, bitch, I said that and I stand in it. Y'all, you talk to me or whatever, and you tell me what's going on. Y'all not as close as y'all are. It is what it is, and y'all doing this shit for TV. Y'all did what y'all had to do for TV, and that's what it is. And I can see that happening. When I was looking at Funky Dineva and Dr. Heavenly did the review of the reunion part 1 together, and Heavenly said the same thing on her review. Okay, she said the same thing on her review about them not being cool no more like that. They may be cordial at this point, but it's like the damage has been done at this point. And I just feel so bad that if that is true, that's fucked up. That is messed up. Okay, you gotta be careful of the elements that you let into your goddamn circle. Literally over fucking Buffy, a bitch that only had half a season. Damn. Damn. And you can't tell me it was something else. And like what I said, it has to be something deeper, and I want to know what the fuck it is. I mean, bitch, to be quite honest, Quiet, it ain't your business, but you said what we want to know. Because, girl, listen, I want to know what it is at this point, too, because I feel like I'm in the friendship, too. And I feel hurt bad. What is it? Because y'all ain't telling us everything. Okay, so, Quiet was like, what is it? Okay, And Simone had to break that shit down. She was like, first of all, what I got an issue with you saying is you saying that the relationship was fake or the makeup was fake. I don't get paid to fake stuff on TV. Maybe that's what you do. No, I have not. And no, I do not. Okay. You know, basically words. Okay. Words mean things, semantics, and all that stuff. But, you know, Jackie and Simone got into whatever they got into over fucking Buffy and the shit that happened in Mexico. Um, and, you know, it got to the point where Jackie just didn't feel like Simone had her back when it came to that Buffy situation when she blew up and the response that she gave to Buffy and you know the fact that she was like Toya can say this and say that or whatever and you always have her back and you're there for her and you'll give an excuse for her or whatever but when it came to me and this time in Mexico or whatever you didn't do that. You didn't do that. And she was like, I did do that. I went to you, you know, I told you that you was messed up. I told you about this and I told you that wasn't you. And I told you exactly why I said that. And you said that you understood and you knew that it wasn't me and all this stuff and woo, woo, woo. But you didn't go back and tell the group. So that's what I was upset at, you know. And when you say that, I get it. I get it. Because you got the whole, she just wanted, Jackie wanted somebody on her side. Okay and not on her side telling her that she's right, but you know, that understood the reason why she snapped the way that she did. You know what I'm saying? Even though Jackie, you was wrong telling that situation, I don't give a fuck, bitch. That's just what it is, okay? But you know, I get it, okay? And they had to get past that to get past some other stuff, okay? Finally, we're getting somewhere, you know what I'm saying? They have a little other issues that's probably small, minimum. They're going to get through it, and it's baby step. Like Simone said, you don't make up with a person and everything be all good with just a hug, and y'all go back to being all bestie. No, it takes time sometimes, okay? You have to build that trust back up. You have to build that respect back up because in that process, you could have lost it, you know what I'm saying? And so they get into that and, you know, the whole thing with Simone and Heavenly, they used to be cool and, you know, what would it take for them to be cool again? And she was like, Simone is hurt by some of the stuff that Heavenly says. And we have to be 100% honest, okay? Heavenly, you do talk about these girls. You get on your YouTube and you talk about these girls, okay? They talk about you too because you talk about them. You are very fucking blunt, so you cannot sit there and be surprised at the fact that y'all don't talk, okay, and that one of these girls will want to have an issue with you because of the things that you say off the show, okay, that we don't see, you know, because you put it out there and we know it, you know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand how you talk bad about people that you want to be your friend. I don't get that. I don't get that. You know, that's not what I do with my friends. Okay, we throw shady shots, you know what I'm saying? But it's not shots that's gonna go public and go below the belt and make them feel hurt. Okay, we can kiki with our friends. We all kiki with our friends, but we don't kiki to hurt. Okay, and sometimes the shit that you say heavily, it can hurt, and I can see that. You know what I'm saying? You're a very blunt person. And so, you know, Heavenly was like, I reached out. She didn't even come to my birthday party. And she was like, girl, you told me 2 days before. Okay. And I was on call. That's why I couldn't come, you know. And basically, you know, just saying that she has tried to put forth the effort and everything. You know, quiet asking all these questions and all this stuff, whatever. What is it going to take for you? And Andy was like, you know, so what is going on? You going to be the field, you the host or whatever, asking all these questions and all this stuff. Go ahead, do what you do. You know, they was making jokes about it. And, you know, they really quiet asked, can you be cool with Heavenly? Or I should say, cool with Jackie, even though she's still cool with Heavenly. You know, she was like, once me and, you know, Heavenly fix our relationship and talk things out or whatever, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be 100% fine. Okay. And then here come Heavenly. Well, it's going to have to be you because I done gave all that I can get. Okay. And everybody was like, girl, now why would you have to go do that? Okay. Just let the shit go. And, you know, I feel like at this point, the ladies, I have hope. Maybe I'm naive. I feel like they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. It may not be the same right off the back like we would want it to, but I feel like they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay eventually. Girl, the men come out there, right? They should have kept their ass in the back, okay? Okay, we already know Dr. Damon ain't here because he's taking care of Damon Jr. But we gonna just get into what they started talking about. They started talking about the whole picture in the phone. You shouldn't have no woman's pictures in the phone. Of course, Scott is gonna be pent on top of something. I never had the woman's picture in the phone or whatever. Bitch, if you had it off of Facebook, if you had it accessible so easily off of the website or whatever it is, you had that bitch in your phone, okay? No, you shouldn't do that. Then they get into the DMs and him opening up DMs and saying, oh wow, instead of just blocking or deleting, you know what I'm saying? And Eugene was like, you're a married man, you're not supposed to do that, okay? And if you do respond, you respond saying, I'm a married man, please don't contact me no more, blah. And truth be told, Eugene, you doing a little bit too much. They don't deserve a fucking response. They know that you're married. If they contacting you and your popularity has gone up because you've been on this show, they know that you're married. Okay, they just trying to see how far that they can go. And with that being said, you don't have to respond to them. You just block and delete. That's what you do if you want to go that route. Okay, so Curtis said, you probably will say, don't contact me no more, whatever. You're not going to go ahead and block right away. Everybody in the back was like, what? And I'm sitting here like, no, Curtis, not you. But then again, yes, you, because I'm pretty sure that's what you do. Okay. But Curtis ain't on social media like that, so he don't really get it. And I'm just like, no, we don't respond back. If we're in a loving relationship, you don't need to pay anybody any attention. You don't need to respond. You just block and delete. That's what it is. Then they get into the whole life coach situation. Bitch, Scott, Curtis said, now I want you to, I know Scott has a story to tell, whatever. And when he told it to us afterwards, it made perfect sense, okay? And then Cecil was like, but to be honest, we got on him for what he said, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. Scott basically said that he lied about it, in an immature way to make her feel like she had one, like he had one before she got one. And when we had the conversation off screen, when the cameras went down, she understood what I was coming from and all this shit. And me and Andy, bitch, let me just tell you something. And I hope I'm getting that correct because it didn't make sense coming out of his mouth going into my ears. I rewound the TV at least a good 3 times trying to understand what he was saying and trying to see if that really... I said, bitch, what me and Andy said, and this is what you thought made sense? Scott, stop it. He was trying so hard not to stutter, and he was thinking of it. You can tell when somebody is thinking of what to say next. He was literally thinking of what to say next. And I'm just like, no. Scott is full of shit. Anyway, that was the reunion. I will say that part 2 was quite emotional a little bit. It got me a couple of times. I don't care for the part 3. I really don't. Just wrap this shit up, okay? Wrap it up. But I will see y'all later. Peace.